Hi, this is Adam Khoo here, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the Ultimate Investor's Playbook, or I call it UIP. So what is UIP? It's a premium subscription service where all my investors get to watch me behind the scenes on how I make investment decisions, how I invest every single day for consistent profits, and they get to watch me every single step of the way. They get to see firsthand how I scan the markets for the best investment opportunities every single year. From the US, from China, and even different parts of Asia. How I look for the best stocks, the best ETFs, and the best REITs to buy. Next, I'll show you how I do in-depth research into every investment before I make my purchase. How I use fundamental analysis to analyze a business inside out. So I only invest in the best companies in the world. How I value a business to know exactly the price to pay for it. How I use technical analysis and price patterns to determine the exact price level to buy. So the moment I buy, I catch the momentum of the stock moving upwards. Now, once I've discovered a great stock, it's placed into my private watch list that you get access to live 24 hours. So you are watching exactly what I'm watching, and I'm watching for the price to be right. So the moment the stock price is undervalued enough, the moment the price is on an uptrend or at a technical support level, that's when I start buying the stock. And so the moment I buy the stock, or before I buy the stock, all my subscribers will be informed through our private Telegram chat group. So you get to watch how I invest live. Now, buying a stock is only half the battle. Once you buy a stock and you put it into your portfolio, you have to monitor and review your portfolio daily, weekly, and monthly. So I'm going to show you exactly how I review my portfolio on a regular basis. So you again get access to my live portfolio, and I'll show you exactly how I determine regularly every single month for every stock in my portfolio, which stocks am I adding more shares into, which stocks am I selling, which stocks do I have to protect from a downtrend that's coming up. Now, I know there are many people out there who offer an investment newsletter where they recommend exactly what stocks to buy, every month to their subscribers. Here's the main difference. Many of those newsletters are written by professional analysts or academics who don't actually invest their own money into their recommendations. They don't have skin in the game. Now, in this playbook, every stock that I talk about, that I highlight, are stocks that I own in my portfolio or I'm buying really soon. So the main difference is that you're going to see me invest live with a real account, unlike most people who don't actually invest their real money, okay? And these are the real accounts I invest with, right? So this is one of my accounts, and you can see exactly the returns I'm getting, the stocks that I'm holding regularly. For example, in this account, you can see it's a $900,000 US dollar account. The last 7 days, I'm up about $15,000. Year to date, from January to 17th of February, you can click year to date over here. You can see I'm up about 37,000 US dollars for this particular account. Another account which I have, which mirrors this account, is this another account I have with Interactive Brokers. You can see the last year to date, again from January to 17th of February, I'm up $68,900 on this account. So again, these are real accounts that I'm investing in with my own money, and all the stocks on the watch list in the portfolio tracker mirror my investments exactly. So you can see behind the scenes again how I manage my investments, my portfolio, how I make buy and sell decisions. And I believe that there's no other service out there that offers this to their investment community. So using the portfolio tracker, you can see in real time what my portfolio looks like, exactly the number of stocks I'm holding at any moment in time, and exactly what stocks I'm holding. And you can also see exactly when I'm adding shares to my positions and when I'm selling shares to my positions in order to maintain the highest return with the lowest risk in my investment portfolio, which you can learn to do for your own portfolio as well. So once you subscribe to the playbook, what can you look forward to? Well, the first thing is my monthly premium report that I'll be delivering to you through video as well as a written report. And this is where I go in depth into analyzing what's happening in the markets right now, what's happening to the US stock markets, the China markets, the Asian markets, and at times looking at the gold markets, the bond markets, and even the oil markets. So in fact, you can see that in my February premium report, where I did an in-depth analysis of the S&P 500, I anticipated that based on the trend of the market, which was a very clear uptrend, and the price came down to a nice Fibonacci retracement level, I anticipated the market will continue to go up in the next 1 month. And it has. As you can see, this is the actual live chart, and the market indeed has continued its uptrend northwards. So here's what the first 700 members have had to say about that first February report. Nice. I'm going through Adam's report, amazed by how much content they created for just 1 month. And this from Georgie. Yes, I agree. The way he explains is amazing. From Francesco, Adam Khoo, I have started to watch the UIP videos. There's an amazing content and the cost is nothing versus the value I'm getting from it. Everything is there. Special thanks to you and your team. From Kadir all the way from Nepal, I must say the UIP videos are excellent. They are stocks, ETFs, REITs, watch list, real-time trades, Adam's portfolio. Every info an investor needs to grow his capital. UIP is the best bang for the buck. Thank you, Adam, and for the whole team for exemplary effort. Carlo, he says, nobody works harder than Adam and his team. Wow, just watching UIP videos is money well spent. Thank you very much. From Georgia again, I think this is where this group can be very powerful, sharing some insights of the companies where people work at. Because once I present the stock of a company, my students and subscribers who are within that industry will share additional insight for us to benefit from. Yogesh from Canada, I watched the entire UIP videos in one shot. I couldn't stop watching all the way. I must salute to Adam, who opened up his entire personal portfolio to his students like a black and white diary. He's 100% transparent, honest, and that's a great quality. Salute to you, sir. We love you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So once I've gone through my in-depth analysis about the overall markets, we will then go into my investment portfolio, and I'll go through every single stock in my portfolio, and I'll tell you exactly which stocks I'm going to add more shares, I'm going to sell shares, I'm going to hold shares at a different price level. So here's a sneak peek of what it looks like. So as I bring you through my portfolio investment review, I will show you for every stock I hold, what is the fundamental valuation of the stock. Is the stock overvalued or is it undervalued? And then I'll go through all the different chart patterns of every stock to know the right price to add more shares in. Within the UIP website, you can see all the stocks in my portfolio, and they are classified into the different categories. For example, some of them are dividend stocks, some of them are large cap, predictable companies that are more defensive, and some of them are large cap growth companies, some of them are for speculative growth, some of them are deeply undervalued ETFs. So I classify the stocks in these categories, and for every single stock you can see the intrinsic value, which means what is the stock really worth. And if the price is selling below the intrinsic value, it is coded in green, which means it is undervalued. We only want to buy stocks that are undervalued. And if the stock price is above the intrinsic value, you get a red, which is overvalued. You can also see the economic mode of the stock to tell you, does it have a strong competitive advantage? So for example, if you take a closer look at some of the growth stocks in this portfolio, you can see that Apple, for example, is extremely overvalued. It's in red. It's like 50% overvalued. So Apple is not a stock which I like to add more shares. In fact, I like to just hold it, or I could even sell some shares to take a profit. Now, if you look at Amazon, for example, just above Apple, although Amazon has gone up quite a bit since I bought it, but Amazon is still 13% undervalued. The current price of Amazon is $2,100, but the intrinsic value is about $2,400. So it's still undervalued, it's still green, so fundamentally it's still cheap, whereas Apple is really expensive. Okay, now you can't just look at the fundamental valuation before making a decision. you have to look at the chart patterns as well. So once I go through the fundamentals of each stock in my portfolio, I'll bring you through the chart patterns. So let's take a closer look at the chart patterns. So again, you can see that Apple is on an uptrend, and it is really expensive. It's 50% overvalued. Now here's the thing, even though a stock is overvalued, it's expensive, but I won't sell it yet as long as it's on an uptrend, because expensive can become even more expensive. As long as the trend stays up, it can keep going up really high. So I'm holding Apple, but I'm not adding more shares. Make sense? Now on the other hand, if you look at Amazon, now over here you can see again all the stocks in my portfolio are in my charting software. I'm going to click on Amazon. So you can see that Amazon, after it announced earnings, there was a big run up in the stock, right? In fact, from $1,700 where I first bought it initially, it has jumped up to about $2,100. Okay, but like I said, it's still undervalued because fundamentally Amazon is worth $2,400 to $2,500. So does it mean I'm going to add more shares right now? No, I'm not, because based on the technical patterns, the chart patterns, it is overextended. So I want to see that the price after a run, remember, what goes up must come down before going higher. So after the market has breathed out, it can't breathe out forever. It has to breathe in first before breathing out. So for Amazon, I'm waiting for the price to come back down to about $2,000 or $1,900 before adding more shares and catching the next run up in the price beyond its intrinsic value. So when I combine both fundamentals and technicals, we are able to enter the great stock at a great price every single time. And the best part about it is that the moment the stock is at the right price and I enter the stock on that day, within that minute, you get an alert on the Telegram chat group that I'm entering the stock right now. So here are some screenshots of a lot of subscribers really happy for making a lot of money on Amazon, entering much earlier because it was really undervalued. So once Amazon announced earnings and the price flew, you know, they were really happy, right? Amazon is flying 100% or 10%, sorry, right? Wow, entered Amazon, thanks for the advice. Sleeping Giant finally woke up. Woohoo, Amazon, solid earnings from Amazon beats both revenue as well as EPS, earnings per share. Wow, thanks Adam on Amazon. Too bad I just bought one share, but that's $2,000, it's not bad. Entered just before earnings. Thanks Adam too. Thank you Adam for showing us the path. And here are some even more recent investment calls I made as I entered the stock right at that moment, right? So this was on January the 14th. This was from me. Hi guys, Unilever is a large cap stock to own and it's now trading at a fair value at $56. Blah, 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 blah. All right, having said that, I'll be buying a position today and adding more if it drops down to $50. So Unilever was at $56 and I said I'm going to buy some now. If it goes up to $50 at a cheaper price, I'm going to add even more shares. Now here's the problem, it never went down to $50. So the moment I went in at 56, it just flew all the way up. And you can see from the price pattern over here, you can see that Unilever was finding support at the 150 moving average. That was the exact point I entered it at $56, and now it's already all the way up there at about $63. This was another recent investment entry I made. This was the 24th of January, and I said, same thing with IHF. We'll be looking to rotate out of IHF. So I'm selling my IHF ETF shares and I'm going into ITA, right, and or XLV. So ITA is the defense, aerospace and defense ETF. And this was on the 24th of January where I entered right there at about $229. That's right. Okay, so as you can see, the chart pattern bouncing off the moving average, entered there, the 50 moving average, and boom, right now it's already up to from 231 all the way up to now $240. Okay, this was another one on the 27th of January. And I said over here, picking up a small position in Yum China, and I bought in at 42.51 right there, as it was bouncing off a strong support level at 42.51, bought on this day, and right now it's gone up to $45. Looking for it to go back and claiming the $52 mark. And of course, I've got subscribers who are really happy. Thanks for sharing all your investment entries. And one recent one, 31st of January, just about 2 weeks ago, I entered Estee Lauder at $196 right there. Okay, and the reason I got in was because, again, of the chart pattern bouncing off the 150, at the 61.8% Fibonacci level, and the stock is undervalued based on fundamentals. So that was a great point of entry at 196. Boom, it's now at 215. Right, you can see my initial post on 31st January, looking to take an initial entry to Estee Lauder as it bounces off the 61.8 Fibonacci level and 150 moving average, and 198 is at fair value. I'm going to add even more at lower prices. So I went in at 198, hoping to get more at 184, never went down to 184, started flying all the way up. All right. Now, the reason why I make all these investment calls, the reason why I show people my entire portfolio and watch this, and I'm completely transparent, is not because I want people to blindly follow my investments, but I want you to understand my thought process, to understand why I make certain decisions, why I buy a stock, why I sell a stock, so that you eventually are able to do it on your own. And I'm really happy to say that every single day, I've got students who post their amazing results from the markets. I'm going to show this to you. This is live, by the way. Right now, it's the 17th of February. This is our Telegram chat group, Ultimate Investors Playbook. We've got 877 members. Again, this is completely live. And these testimonials come in every single minute almost, right? So this is from Tong An. He's from the US. And he just posted his results so far from the beginning of January to 17th February. So for the first month and a half, you can see that he's up 9% for the year compared to the S&P 500, up 4% for the year so far. And he says that, start of the year has been a little rough on trading, but has recovered since learning from Adam. Constantly beaten the S&P 500 every year. Much respect and thank you, Shifu, which means teacher, right? A couple of minutes ago, we had Mutahi. I'm not sure where he's from. He said, that's just for year 2020. You can see his portfolio all the way up for the year. Really happy so far. Thanks to Master Chief Adam. It's been a glorious ride so far. Thanks for all the wisdom, knowledge, and mental psychic conditioning. Can't thank enough. I was purely a technical chartist before and never was truly successful until I understood the power of value investing and momentum paired together. I've always heard about where smart money is flowing. Now I know what it means as we are now swimming in the streams of that smart money. Wonderful, right? In fact, you can see that Muhati's up a cumulative profit of $53,000 for the first 1.5 months of the year. And just a couple of minutes ago was Yen E, one of my students as well from Singapore, and he says over here, just posted his portfolio, and he's up 10%, right? 10% return for the year in the first 1.5 months. All right, so amazing stuff. And even a couple minutes before that, we had Kadir all the way from Nepal. He's a medical scientist, and he just posted this. All right. Yeah, this is the one he posted. And basically, what happened to Kadir was before he came for the program and subscribed to my courses, this is what happened to him. He almost lost all his money. All right. So as an amateur, he started off okay, and then he started to double down on the wrong stocks. Okay. And he followed people randomly on the internet, and you can see he almost lost everything that he had. And at that point, at the lowest point, he started becoming my student. He took all my courses, subscribed to the UIP, and since then, his account has grown phenomenally, and he's now at all-time highs. Grew his account to 27,700 US dollars. All right, in his own words, he says, that was a recent 3 months. My total journey in this image started in April 2016, able to mentally push forward even during the big drawdowns. The lowest point on my graph is $3,000. So he was down to his last 3,000. I had lost almost everything by the point. Once he subscribed to UIP, took my course, he's up to 27,700 US dollars. So that's amazing stuff. Now, if you wish that you too could generate consistent profits from your investments and to build your wealth consistently, then this knowledge, this community, this opportunity, this coaching is available to you with the Ultimate Investors Playbook. So let's take a look at what you'll be getting. The first thing is you'll be finding through the playbook the most compelling investment opportunities in the global stock markets today, with a focus on the US markets, China, and parts of Asia as well. Next, you learn how I analyze investment opportunities using a combination of fundamental analysis, studying the businesses, technical analysis, looking at trends and market cycles, as well as macro and secular trends. You'll also be able to track all the stocks, ETFs, and REITs, which are real estate investment trusts, through my watch list and portfolio live every single day. So in every monthly report, I begin with an in-depth analysis into what's happening in the overall stock market. So we know, is the market on an uptrend or is it on a downtrend? To know, do we get aggressive on our portfolio or do we get defensive? The next thing is I'll do an in-depth review into the stocks in my portfolio as well as the stocks in my watch list that will mirror your own watch list and your own portfolio as well. So I'll share with you exactly where I'll add more shares for every stock, where I'll hold or where I'll even sell a certain position, as well as you get an instant calculation into the intrinsic value of every single stock, as well as their technical support levels. Next, every single month, I will focus and highlight at least 2 great investment opportunities, and we'll go through an in-depth analysis on understanding what makes it a great investment. So you understand my thought process of how I find great investments. And more on that in the next slide. Finally, most importantly, you'll be into our private Telegram discussion group where we'll be discussing every single day the different investments in the markets that are presented. And like I said, every time I buy a stock, I sell a stock, it is updated live in the Telegram chat groups. So it's kind of like you literally get a behind the scenes view of how a professional investor invests, so you get to learn firsthand how to do it yourself. So here's an overview of the whole process. So like I said, every single month, I'll be highlighting great investment opportunities. They could be stocks of companies or ETFs or REITs, real estate investment trusts. For example, some of the stocks I'll be highlighting would be, like Amazon's. These are the past investments, Apple or Alibaba or Tencent. And again, for every single stock, I'm going to take you behind the scenes. We're going to show you how I do in-depth research before making a decision. Before I invest in a stock, it takes me 6 to 7 hours of in-depth research to be confident to put my money in, to know for certain it's going to grow over time. So the first thing is I'm going to do fundamental research into the company's business model, where we understand the company's competitive advantage, performance record, as well as valuation. What is the stock really worth? You're going to learn exactly how I do it for every single investment. I'll be looking at the charts to understand the support and resistance levels, whether it's on an uptrend, a downtrend, in a consolidation pattern, price action, to know the exact point to enter to catch the momentum in the stock immediately. So how do we get into a stock before it makes its greatest gains? I'll also show you that when we invest, we have to look at the overall macro picture. What are the secular growth trends, market cycles in the markets, like 5G or cloud computing or robotics or AI, that's going to drive the growth in the industry and our stock as well. So once we have found those stocks, what do? That's right, we place them into the watch list that we're watching every single day together. And once we make a buy of the stock, is going to go into our portfolio that mirrors my portfolio. That again, you can view live every single day. And once again, most importantly, you'll be part of our Ultimate Investors private chat group. And as you can see in our private chat group of now over 886 members, you get my most up-to-date insights into the market. For example, something which I just posted just about over an hour ago on the oil markets. As you can see, oil has hit a strong support level. And I'm saying over here, yes, I'm really bullish on oil. You can see from the weekly charts that oil futures are showing a bullish engulfing pattern. And I'm looking at oil going up. So how would this affect the stock market? Really simple. Oil companies and oil stocks should see a rally from here. So we focus on the opportunity in the oil and gas sector. So if you're really serious about acquiring the best practical investment skills and sniffing out the best investment opportunities every single month, every single year to grow your wealth, then this playbook is a must-have tool in your financial arsenal. Now, I've taken a look at a lot of premium investment newsletters in the markets, and most of them are priced between $1,500 even up to $5,000 a year. And some of them are not bad, some of them are pretty good, but they can never compare to the depth of content that you're going to get from the playbook. And not only that, but 99% of investment newsletters in the markets are written again by professional analysts or academics, where they don't put their own money into whatever stocks they're recommending. The main difference is in this playbook, it mirrors my live portfolio. I actually invest my real money in the markets for you to take a look at. So I've got skin in the game just like you have, and that's the main difference behind it. I only invest in something where I'm really sure I'm going to make money from it. And like Warren Buffett, I've got two rules. Number one rule, never ever lose money. Rule number two, don't forget rule number one. So you can see how these monthly investment ideas can be worth thousands or if not hundreds of thousands of potential profit to you as an investor. You have seen how some of my students, like Kadar, who lost so much money previously, dropped his account all the way to his last $3,000, built it all the way up to $27,000 US in the last couple of months, over an 80% return in the last 1 year. Or Mutahir, my other student who I showed you, made $53,000 US in profits in the first 2 months of the year. So these ideas are priceless, but it's not just the value of the ideas, but think of the thousands of hours of research time you're going to save by having this playbook at your disposal. Remember that behind every great investment is many hours of research that goes into that. And you can do the research yourself, but you don't have to. Let me do the research for you. So you cut short your learning curve and spend more time with what you enjoy doing, or spend more time with your family. Alright, so subscribe to the playbook, and your annual subscription includes 12 monthly premium reports with amazing content written by myself and my research team, and presented via video as well as a written research document. You get a minimum of 2 great investment ideas every single month. And for every idea, we go into in-depth research into the stock and why it makes a great investment for your portfolio. There are 2 bonuses. The first bonus is getting into our private Telegram chat group worth $2.99 a year, as well as bonus number 2, getting access to our watch list and portfolio that mirrors my live investment portfolio worth $9.99 a year. So the total value of this annual subscription is $1,800 US. And in the own words of my current subscribers, this cost is nothing. And this is from them, not from me. This cost is nothing compared to the value they're getting. And they're saying, it's money well spent. Because they can see that for every $1 they invest in a playbook, they're getting $2, $5, and some of them even $10 in return. And it's the best investment decision you can ever make for your life, for your financial destiny. And you owe it to yourself to reach your financial destiny, become financially free and financially secure. And the earlier you get there, the better it is. And this playbook is going to help you to get there as fast as possible by accelerating your learning curve, accelerating your financial success. Now, to thank you for watching this webinar, my team is giving you 40% off the annual subscription. And this is a limited time offer, so grab it as soon as you can before the offer's gone. So that's only for you $1080 for an entire year subscription to the monthly reports, the Telegram chat groups, the portfolio, the watch list. And this works out to be just $90 a month. So this is a no-brainer. It's a steal because you know that with one report, the ideas you're going to get are going to be worth hundreds of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for your investment portfolio. It's just $90 a month. Think of the thousands of hours it's going to save you. Think of all the potential profits you can make. Think of how your portfolio is going to grow over the years with this powerful knowledge. So grab it while you can. Click on this offer, right, that appears over here, and I look forward to seeing you in the private Telegram chat groups. Grab it now, take massive action, and go make your financial destiny and dreams come true.